Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to NinonSpeaks. I'm Ninon de Rosa, and I have right next to me is AJ Dean. She is my co-host, my producer, and my one and all on everything. This show started just over a year ago. We did not realize it would sort of reach this far, but it's gravitating speed very fast, and it's doing extremely well. One great thing about NinonSpeaks and doing it on the internet and doing it on Zoom, which is one of the platforms, is that we can reach anybody in the world. So we can have people from Australia, Germany, England, and Paris, and you name it, we can do it. So I absolutely love that. I also would like to thank all of our guests, previous guests that have been on. They've been amazing, and they've made us what we are. And also, just everybody out there, our viewers, the people that chime in to us every single week or every day or whenever they chime in, because with the internet is a little different. You can tune in anytime you want. You don't have to sort of go to the television. It's going to be on at 3:00, it's anytime. Anyway, enough of all that stuff, I guess, but thank you everybody out there. And over to AJ. AJ always introduces our guests. So you go ahead, AJ.
Thank you, Ninon. And you're looking beautiful tonight, as always.
Thank you.
It's my great pleasure to introduce the wonderful Bobby Del Rio. I believe he is from Canada. He is an actor, writer, and director, and he wrote the feature film called The Market. And we want to hear more about that from him. And he's also a very popular moderator on the Clubhouse app, which is a really cool, hip, trendy kind of radio communication, networking type of app. And hello, Bobby, welcome, and how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. It's just been a whirlwind. I'm getting interviews every day now. I'm getting all these acting jobs. I'm having meetings of television series built around me. Producers want to buy my feature screenplays. It's like a constant. I just hit 19,000 followers on Clubhouse today. I mean, it's just.
I'm not surprised though. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror? You look pretty cool.
Well,
and also,
maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. And it's very funny because your photograph is not much different to you in real life. I've never seen photographs so much alike. You are amazing.
Oh, well, good.
Looking good. So what are these parts that are coming to you? How did all this suddenly happen? Is it through Clubhouse or just through your own special personality?
Well, look, I've had a pretty good career in Canada for over 20 years, but I mean, I have never experienced anything like this. It's like Clubhouse, I think, is best understood as a bit of an aggregator. So what it does is like a ton of people get to know about you, and then it boosts all of your social media handles. So my Instagram went from just like I think I built something like 1,000 followers in 5 years, and then. Like nothing. I basically wasn't on Instagram a little bit, and then in 5 months I just hit over 6,000. I have like over 6,200 Instagram in 5 months, and it's very, very real. I went from getting 3 DMs a week to 500 DMs a week. I get 500 direct messages a week. It goes up every week.
Wow. So how do you handle that? How do you handle all those messages? I mean, you can't reply to all of them. You're going to have one generic one.
Right. Well, I mean, so I used to just reply to everybody when it started happening because it's like, oh, look at all these. I was like, hello, thank you, and now it's just like, oh, like basically, if it's a pitch, I just delete it, and then if it says something nice, I just kind of go thank you, and it's like if I don't share, if my phone is off for like 4 hours and then I turn it on, it's so much. I'm sure you understand too, right? It's like.
Yeah, I'm very much. I had my computer off for a few days, and I had thousands of emails, and I'm thinking, how do I get through all this?
No, that's when you take the computer, you just throw it out the window.
There you go. So, well, I wanted to do that, but I couldn't.
Right.
So what have you got going on now? Now you're a producer, you're a director, you're an actor, you're a writer. Which is your favorite?
To be honest, I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, I started as an actor, so I guess I always have a kinship to performing. I trained as an actor. I'm a classically trained actor in Shakespeare. But I started as a playwright, and I had a lot of success very early. And then that got into making movies. like I'm gonna act in a new project. I'm shooting several episodes of a web series here in Canada next week. But then it's like I literally had, I think, 2 or 3 meetings with Hollywood producers for scripts of mine to be purchased or negotiated. I'm getting interviewed almost every day. I mean, it's I just kind of like, in a way, it's like triage. It's positive, but there's so much happening that I'm really just kind of like, okay, cool, yes, thank you, on to the next.
So what are you going to do? So you've got these, you said you've got 3 scripts that you've done. Which is your favorite out of those? And what are they, where have you gone on them? What sort of type of movie would it be?
Right. Well, I have 100 scripts. So
okay.
yeah, I have but that was this week in terms of meetings with specific producers in Hollywood. So I actually, like, I'm still in Toronto, Canada, although I'm now relocating to Los Angeles. So I'm now repped in Hollywood because of Clubhouse. So now, it's actually been a big transition because, I've been attached for big projects in Canada. But now I have to decide, okay, well, hold on, what's the project, right? Is it like, because now I'm transitioning to the US market. So I'm kind of flying back and forth, right? It's like, I'm going to shoot this in Canada, and then I'm going to set up these meetings here in LA, and then I have to come back to shoot this and that. Like, it's crazy.
Well, as long as you keep it all in order, you'll be pretty okay. But it's a lot to keep in order. Going back to the scripts again, when they decide or they're reading, is it the same person reading 3 scripts, or is it 3 different producers or directors?
Oh, it's 3 different. I mean, yeah, like I probably have 15 to 20 active projects in development right now. That's different scripts, different projects, different teams. And look, there's a high attrition rate, but you just don't know what's going to go, right? But then also sometimes I'm attached as the director, right? Sometimes I'm attached as the star. Like, I had somebody contact me 2 weeks ago, like, do you want to be the star of this feature film? I'm like, of
course you do.
Yes.
Hello.
Right. So it's amazing what is coming my way. Every day I get a new job offer, sometimes a small one, sometimes a big one. And so I'm just saying yes to everything within reason.
Of course.
But to be honest, it's like, I can't do all of these things. So I'm just going to see, well, okay, who's writing the check?
I was going to say, whoever's writing the check and which one comes first. I mean, because you can have, in this business especially, there can be lots of promises, lots of things fall through, lots of things happen. So you have to learn, instead of saying, oh no, I'll wait for this and I'll wait later, you have to kind of say, okay, well, let me take this one, let's take this acting job, or let's take this script, or whatever it is, let's do this, and make a decision, which is hard to do because, you want to do it all.
I mean, luckily I have a good team. I would say the most complicated thing right now is that I have a really good agent in Toronto, Canada, and a really good agent in Los Angeles. And so I feel pulled sometimes. Yes. It's a good problem to have, but it is a problem, right? Like, it's kind of like, I'm like, I feel like pulled all the time. And
do they try to decide which you should do, or are you able to decide that yourself? Who can decide that? I mean, look, my agents are really experienced and really kind, and we get along really well. So definitely, like, it's a conversation. Yes. But they have different points of view, right? And they're in different countries, and they do. But what they do think of agents and people like this, they think of the bottom line a lot. Because of the money. They've got the money coming in. They're in for the money. I'm not saying your 2 are, but on a whole, everybody's out there to make money. And the bottom line is we all want to make money, whether we're acting, writing, screening, whatever we're doing. Sure. So I would imagine that's a bit of a tearaway between. Do they both get on, your agents, one, the Canada one and the one in Los Angeles? Well, to be honest, like, so this is like, I get along with them really well. And to be honest, the fact that they're focused on money is good. I mean, that's why they're there, For me, it's more about where am I going to live, right? Because because I'm auditioning for major, I can't say the name of the studio, but I just auditioned for a huge Hollywood director in Canada for this major series, and then but also in LA. Like, it's like there's just so much coming at me. I think what I'll probably do is just go back and forth,
right? I mean, it's like I'll shoot
I
here,
think
fly here.
I think that's what you're going to have to do. I think you're going to have to work it between both your ages, and also work it between what you can do and how you can fit two of them in at the same time. And I'm quite sure you can do that, because you seem to be quite capable of getting to where you've got, and you've done very, very well. You started out as an actor?
I did, yeah.
And any particular first movie that was, you had a leading part? Or
I mean, the first movie I did, I definitely did not have a leading part. I had one line in an HBO movie called Cheaters with Jeff Daniels, and I played a stoner, and I decided it'd be a good idea to do the role high. That was not a good idea. Like, I was on your own role. Yeah, I was like, I know, I'll get in the role.
I know what to do. I can do this.
And then it's like literally, it's like I'm like, it's like one scene, but it's like, oh, it's like, on set you're shooting over and over and over and over and over again. And my scenes with Jeff Daniels, right? It's like I'm working with Jeff Daniels, and I was like 20 or something, and I grew up watching all his movies.
Of course.
And I was high, and it was just weird. I was like, what's going on right now?
You weren't paying attention to anybody. You said, I've got this part nailed.
I mean, I did okay. They seemed to like me, and I kind of improvised and stuff, but it was definitely very surreal. It was cool, though. It was a cool first movie to do,
It's funny. You've taken on I would imagine it's your own personality, but you've taken on a personality where a lot of you understand people, but a lot of people will like you. And, whether you can act or not, sometimes they're going to like you on set. They've got to deal with you for the next couple of months, and they've got to like you. And often you see a lot of these casting directors and people, they kind of, because they have to go with the producers and the directors and find out who do they want for this part and who do they want for that part. At the same time, they've got to have these people on set. So they've got to all be sort of like, they've got to sort of get on.
Oh, yeah. That's the most important thing. It's what I say in all my, so I run 5 rooms a week on Clubhouse. It's just about making friends. Like literally, it's like all my rooms are about building community. I became very accidentally popular. I had no vision of I'm one of the top moderators on the entire app now, right? I know I'm in all the big rooms all across the platform every day by accident. Like I just make friends and I talk. And then, I'm on the app a lot, but then people just, I guess they like what I have to say. So
I don't think it's by accident. Do you, AJ? Do you think that's by accident? Now, AJ and I are on Club, aren't we, on this Club thing?
Yes,
right.
We're on Clubhouse too, and we would love to work with you, Bobby, with more rooms and help you as well. Ninon's a great local celebrity in Las Vegas. So we can do that. I did want to ask you though, Bobby, what are you most proud of for your film credits?
Well, definitely my feature film, right? It's my directorial debut, The Market. It's a gangster movie about Wall Street. It's available on Amazon Prime in the US and the UK. And the reason that I'm most proud of that, and I've worked quite a lot, right? I've made a lot of things in the film and television industry, but that's like my first feature. I'm having meetings for many other features now, but it was really, really hard to do. It started as a play. I had no intention of turning it into a movie. And then 50 to 100 people in my audience, when we did it as a play, said, this has to be a movie.
Wow. And
that had never even occurred to me. Like, upon reflection, I can see, if you look at it, because it's sort of like Glenn Ross with guns. Right, it lends itself to cinema, but I didn't envision it that way. Like it was a play. It was 4 guys, Wall Street, about the subprime mortgage crisis. It was kind of this conspiracy theory, but people loved it. And then it took me 5 years to figure out how the hell to turn it into a movie and where I could actually direct it. I did, and then it took another 5 years to get a distribution deal, and I ended up getting a small distribution deal at the beginning of the pandemic, and it's changed my entire career.
Oh, so that was recent.
Yeah, I mean, that's about a year ago that I got that distribution deal. And again, I've done a lot in Canada, but not as a filmmaker, really. No. Like I did maybe 10 shorts, I directed every episode of a web series I'd created. We sold the television in Canada. But this, like a feature film as a director is really like I may never need to make another movie, right? Like I've gotten so much work from one movie that I'm like, oh, well, do I need to make another one?
Hey, so Bobby, I was going to say, wait until you do your second one, see what happens then.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is that it's actually led to a lot of opportunities in television, because I guess like feature films in a way they're almost a dying art form, because there's almost no revenue model for feature films anymore, unless you get like you're doing like those big action movies, or like with the studio you're doing a superhero movie or something. But like, you're not really going to make money even if you get into prestigious film festivals, you win all these awards. It's not really a moneymaker. It's almost
not really money. But isn't it because of Netflix? A lot of your actors and actresses are making Netflix movies and all Lulu movies and different movies now. I don't think the actual big movies will go away. I think they're always going to be there, like you said. But I think they're becoming not as much or not as many because of the pandemic. Fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you are on the fence, whichever side you are, it's given you a different way to kind of live and conduct your life. And more of it is actually in the home. And people have found it's very convenient to be at home to work and to eat and to be there and to be with the family. It's changed everything completely. Some for the good, some not for the good. But on a whole, it's just different.
Well, especially with Clubhouse, right? I mean, you throw that into the ecosystem. Like, I'll be on stage 100 to 120 hours a week in my underwear on an audio-only app.
What's your address?
Exactly. I'll email you some options. No, but it's fun. But it's joking. Like even for today to pick a shirt, I was like, close.
That's funny. Bobby, can I ask you, who would you like to work with in the film industry or the entertainment industry? Who would you like to collaborate with?
I mean, Al Pacino is my favorite actor ever. I would love to work with Al Pacino. I would love to act with him or direct him or be directed by him. Or
you better hurry up. He's getting a little old.
I know. A friend of mine, I think, is actually producing his next movie, but I don't know if I can just work my way in there,
I would. If that's what you want, you got to do it. I wouldn't even hesitate. I wouldn't. If you want to meet him and you want to be with him, I would make every opportunity, because you can. You're in the business. You're an actor. You're a director. You can do that. You're capable of doing that, and I would definitely do that, even if it's just to say a couple of words to him and say, I admire your acting, and over the years.
I know a few people who's worked with him now.
Yeah,
he's great. I've heard so many great stories. Like, he's amazing to work with. He's very kind. Like, he's very humble. Like,
yes. Mm-hmm. So he would definitely accept you and say hello.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead, AJ.
I was thinking you could even on IMDb contact his manager or his agent and send this video to them, saying that I would love to work with Mr. Al Pacino. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually developing some pretty big projects too that he could be involved with. So,
wouldn't that be great to invite him to a part? Oh my goodness! Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing. Al Pacino, my God.
Oh, I think that would be absolutely. He's such a. I think one of my very favorite was obviously The Godfather, but one of them was when he played the blind man. Remember?
Scent of a Woman.
Scent of.
Yeah.
I thought he was he was so amazing in that, because he was so convincing of that he was blind, and just his acting capabilities are just amazing. Anybody watching him or taking a leaf out of his book would be a wise move.
Oh yeah, no, he's a genius. And I was actually very surprised, because I've now through Clubhouse met several people who worked with Al Pacino on different projects. And they all have the same thing to say. He's like so humble, hardworking, grounded, artistic, kind. Yeah. It's like, wow, amazing.
What do you think of Clubhouse? Going back onto that, because it seems to be such an influential way of talking to people. I'm on with AJ, and I've done a couple of them, not many. And I find that the people are very interesting, very nice, and seems to have got this collaboration of all these different people on any area you want to actually go into. you can find a path or a way if you're real estate or financing or whatever the case may be. Obviously, we're in the moving. How do you think this is going? It's because it's something very new. Well, not new, but newish.
Okay, so put it this way, like because of Clubhouse, not only have I met people in the film and television industry that have changed my career, but I'm meeting people who work in the social audio space who are talking to me about building shows around me, who I'm helping to write shows for them. And the amount of money that some people are putting into the space, you'd be very, very surprised. Like the caliber of a Hollywood producer who's actively working in the space and the amount of money that's behind them. It's a game changer. And I don't think, and I wouldn't know it if I wasn't experiencing it. The meetings that I'm having, the opportunities that have come my way behind the scenes, and I can't even say names, but you wouldn't even believe it, right? And so many people, I think they use it as a way to like learn some things. They meet a couple people and they move on. And I'm like, I discovered very early the power of the space and the quality of the relationships. I stopped auditioning. I have one of the best agents in Canada. I was auditioning for the biggest projects in the country. I stopped auditioning for months to focus on Clubhouse full time because I knew this is a unique period in history and it's changed my entire life. So it was the right move, but it's like every week it gets, more competitive for sure, but the opportunities, there's so many opportunities. It's amazing.
But I think you're right about when some of them have dropped out, not everything is good for everybody. And also Clubhouse, they're a little bit picky on who they like to keep in and who they want there as well, which is rightfully so, because then for people like us that are, truly in the business, truly working it, truly wanting what we want and trying to help other people, because we can help other people like you. We can put you on our show and put you out there and everything else and give you some PR and everything. And that's what we do. But then also we need help, which is AJ is taking care of a lot of that, aren't you, AJ? AJ, what do you think of it? How has it improved you as to what you do?
Well, I love Clubhouse because it's about building relationships. And it really goes back to the old radio days for me, where you can be transparent and authentic, and you can be yourself, and you can network, but you mostly can get to know people, really great people, and you can share ideas and you can possibly have business opportunities. So I think it's wonderful. It's a great place. I'm still learning the rules. When I first started, I was in a room and it actually blew up. And what I mean by that is it disappeared, right, Bobby? So that happened.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can.
What happened? Blew up.
Here's the question. It's almost like every room you go into, so everyone doesn't understand about Clubhouse, you essentially go to this app, it's audio only, and you have a series of rooms. So it's sort of like going to somebody's house, but it kind of operates that way too, because I'm sure we've all been to many, many people's homes in our lives, and every room is different. Every house is different. Some people ask you to take your shoes off. Some people ask you to pray for 7 minutes to the devil. Some people,
God, I haven't been to that one yet.
I'll invite you. Come on in. Some people want you to listen to their 14-year-old daughter play piano for 45 minutes before anyone's allowed to speak, right? So it's really interesting because every room you go into, you're kind of trying to learn, okay, what's this one going to be? There's not really one rule. It's kind of like an endless series of ever-changing rules. It
takes on its own agenda, because you've got someone will sing and someone will do this and someone will do that, and then someone comes on, hello, how are you? Just wanted to say hello, goodbye, and they're going to, well, why did they come on? But that's what it is. But I think it sorts itself out as you said. Some people stay and some people go. But I think it's amazing. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I wish I'd had that when I was younger. I'm old now. I'm always the oldest person in the room, by the way. I can't work that out, and I don't like it. But that's.
You look great.
Thank you. I feel great. Yeah, I feel great. I love doing what I'm doing, and I love AJ helping me with what we do. And I think everything is sort of helping each other, especially in the entertainment business. Do you ever get to Vegas?
Yeah. So do you know Credit Ninja? My friend Credit Ninja Leanne, she lives in Vegas. So I'm definitely planning a trip there for sure.
Okay, well, when you come here, make sure you let me know because I'll get you on my other show, which is Vegas Live with Ninon. That's a live show.
Great. Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, that's a show I've had for 6 years. And then actually, we started this show, NinonSpeaks, because of the pandemic and also because of AJ. AJ had been tagging me for about 2.5, 3 years. And after that, I decided to find out who this woman was because every time I put something up, her little AJ would be up there. And little AJ would be like, who's AJ? Who's this AJ? And now here we are. See what happens?
You know what? I have been interviewed about 40 times in the last 3 months because of Clubhouse.
Yes.
And I will say that you are a very professionally run podcast, right? Like you do a very good job. It's like multiple press releases, like multiple promo, like good graphics, like lots of lead time. I think what you're doing is excellent.
Well, we're trying to get up there bigger and better and sort of, practice makes perfect. And we're trying to get out there and sort of, maybe make this a real show as well, because I know that's what AJ would love. But she works very hard on it. But at the same time, and AJ will vouch for this, that when she first came on, she knew nothing. She had no idea anything. She didn't know which end was up. And but all my life I've been teaching people anyway. That's one of the main things I do is I help people. I actually teach people and help people to make all the next moves and everything. So she was the ideal person to actually do, and we've done amazingly well. But it's the same as you in your business, in your acting business. I don't know. You said you've got people working for you that help you, and when you've got those people behind you, it makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. And we're very similar because all my rooms are about community and helping other people and building solidarity. I support women. I support people of color. I support LGBTQ plus. It's all about creating equality amongst all humans, right? That's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And I think, when some of us are given the gift of being able to help other people, I think we should release that gift and actually help other people. I'm now getting myself involved in, and there's a homeless thing here. There's the director of music for Manilo, and I'm helping with the homeless people now with his wife Valerie. And it's just you've got to help. You've got to, because you've been given a gift, and you've definitely been given a gift, Bobby.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but apparently.
Oh, I know what it is. It's your personality.
Oh.
And you're pretty good looking. I don't know. I haven't seen you running around the house yet, but I probably won't ever. But I think you're in the right direction. What are your plans right now? You say you're going to try to move to Los Angeles as well as live in Canada. How's that going to work for you? Going to get a place in Los Angeles?
Okay. Well, I have a girlfriend in Los Angeles.
Handy.
So. Yeah, no, as our relationship builds and we get along really well, we're, starting to build a plan together.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's a complicated life though, right? It's like, cause I have a lot of work here, a lot of work opportunities here, as well as Los Angeles, as well as New York, actually. So I'm just kind of like going with it, making the best decisions I can, and just trying to be as grounded and humble as I can, which is not always so easy because it's like, I feel like I'm in the middle of a tornado all the time, but I just try to stay calm and rational.
Yeah. I think that, if I had to give you any advice, I think I would have to ask you yourself to just relax, sit down and relax and find out which is the best opportunity or best avenue you would like to take on right now. I know you said it's the first one that comes along, but then maybe the other one you like better. So I think you need to sort of sit down and relax. Is your girlfriend in the same business?
No, she's a psychologist.
Oh, well, she's going to keep you straight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh well, I'll talk to her and tell her to keep you calm.
Yeah, no, she's great, and she has some interest in the industry in a sort of a consulting way, but she's a doctor, right? So it's nice to like have that sort of objectivity and like a grounded human to help me navigate through, this industry can be so crazy.
Absolutely, but she's going to see things that you don't see, and that's where
Yeah.
she's going to help you. She's going to see things when you're sort of, getting a little bit anxious or nervous or worried, and she's going to say, come on, Bobby, come and sit down, and let's just talk about this, and let me help see how we can get you through this. So I think you've got a great partner there. I think that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's working out really well.
Now, when you started, how old were you when you started and you decided you want to be an actor?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure you heard about the famous Wally the Woodchuck performance I had in grade 2.
I haven't heard about that one, but it sounds pretty cool. 2 years old.
At my school, it was my school play in London, Ontario, in Canada. There's probably 50 people there. World famous production. I was Wally the Woodchuck. I set the world on fire. I don't know. I was just always like in plays just my whole life. So it's funny because I was also sort of like a math prodigy. So I went to the University of Toronto, which is one of the best universities in Canada. And I went and studied, like math and accounting and economics.
Oh, lovely. Just what you wanted, right?
And yeah, but I got really depressed because I was always doing.
Of course, I would get depressed too.
And then I remember I skipped like a month of calculus, but then I got cast as the lead in a couple plays, and I would show up early for rehearsals. But it was funny because I'd skipped all my classes that day, but showed up 10 minutes early for rehearsal.
Of course, that's what you wanted. It's what you liked, what you enjoyed. So you couldn't wait to get there. So you started as a very young, started at 2 years old, the woodchopper.
Yeah. Wally the Woodchuck in grade 2 changed everything.
Absolutely, changed everything for you. Have you ever been in the music industry singing? Do you ever have?
I've recorded an album as a singer-songwriter, so I play guitar and I write songs and I sing, but mostly as like a hobby. But I took many singing classes when I studied as an actor. So once I was in economics, I transferred to theater school, and so we took singing and dancing and Shakespeare.
Cool. So you can. So if you have, even a movie or in something, you have to dance. Well, dancing we know, but singing, and you get the guitar and you start doodle-doodle-doos.
Oh, I can dance as well. I'm a break dancer. I mean, I can do a lot of things.
I'm not getting jealous of your girlfriend. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No. You got to fight her. She's feisty. She'll bite you.
I'm sure.
On your ankles.
They've all fought me and they've all won. Anyway, AJ, we only have a minute left. Oh my goodness gracious me. So I guess I have to turn around and say thank you to our audience out there, to everybody out there for tuning in. And also for Bobby. Bobby Del Rio is a fascinating character. He's in demand right now, very much so. So we give him all the breaks we can. We give him all the prayers we can, and we'll help you along that way. AJ, what would you like to say?
Yes, he can be reached on Clubhouse, Bobby Del Rio. He's got a Facebook page. He also is on Instagram. So
Good.
Follow Bobby Del Rio and support him, and put some hearts and some likes on some of his posts.
What would you like to say, Bobby?
Well, I just want to say thank you both. You're so kind, and AJ's been a delight, and you're just brilliant, and I just appreciate and respect you both, and thank you for having me. You don't have to do that. It's nice.
Well, yes, no, we don't. Nobody has to do anything, and you don't have to do anything either. But we do that, and we thank everybody out there. And we will tune in for our next show later on. Thank you very much, Bobby, for being our guest. AJ, thank you. Take care.